Every year, 20,000 dolphins are slaughtered. Despite the commercial whaling ban, killing dolphins remains entirely legal. This has nothing to do with my topic today, but I just thought that I would let you guys know that. So more than likely, you know somebody who's affected by mental illness. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, 1 in 5, or approximately 43 million Americans, suffer from a form of mental illness. The same source also cites that 1 in 25 of those people have a serious impairment due to their mental illness. These numbers may seem high, but the more serious mental illnesses have a much lower prevalence. Today we will be talking about schizophrenia specifically. We will cover the effects of the illness, treatment options, and symptoms of the illness. So we'll start off with statistics. MentalHealth.net states that 1.2 Americans are diagnosed with schizophrenia, and nobody is exactly sure of what the cause of schizophrenia is. It's speculated that it's a mixture of genetic factors, behavioral factors, how you're raised, if you're neglected socially, if you develop a viral infection in infancy, starvation, or other outside stressors. PsychCentral.com states if your parent has schizophrenia, your risk of inheriting that goes up to 10%, as opposed to the general public's 1% risk of schizophrenia. If you have an identical twin and they develop schizophrenia at some point in their life, your risk increases to anywhere from 40 to 65%. 80 to 85% of schizophrenics smoke, compared to the 20% of the general population. And a majority of these people smoked before they were ever diagnosed with the illness. Next, we will move on to symptoms and effects of the illness. For those afflicted, schizophrenia can be very frightening. A very common symptom is hallucinations. Those who experience hallucinations experience them from all of their senses. Some examples are smelling smoke when there's no fire, hearing voices when nobody's talking to you, seeing like people or creatures, or tasting things when you haven't eaten or drank anything. Another common symptom is disorganized thinking. This can range anywhere from connecting thoughts that have absolutely no correlation to what people call word salad, which is just a bunch of random words thrown together in a string that make no sense to anybody. Delusions are possibly the most common symptom of schizophrenia. There's paranoia, which is believing that people are like out to get you or something bad is going to happen. And there's also something called pronoia, which is the belief that somebody is out to help you. Like, this is a counterpart of a grandiose delusion, where you believe that you're somebody super important, like the president or God or Jesus Christ or whatever. So now we will move on to treatment options for schizophrenia. Despite all of the poor things that schizophrenics experience, it is treatable. According to schizophrenia.com, 40% of schizophrenics refuse to believe that they have schizophrenia. The other side, the 60% of the people who accept that they have it, seek treatment. MayoClinic.org states that medications are the cornerstone of a successful treatment. Schizophrenics may take more than one medication at a time. WebMD states that the most common type of medication that schizophrenics take are antipsychotics. Now, antipsychotics can, however, have some downsides, and because of these downsides, schizophrenics may stop taking their medication. Some of these downsides include neuroleptic malignant syndrome, which is rare but life-threatening, and some of the symptoms include fever, uncontrollable vomiting, and falling unconscious at random times. Another one is tardive dyskinesia, which is like uncontrollable body movements. And another one is type 2 diabetes, which you can get because antipsychotics make you gain weight, even if you don't eat. Institutionalization is only required if you are in immediate danger to yourself or if you're a danger to anybody else. So, in conclusion, schizophrenia is a very serious and scary mental illness. Despite all of the downsides, there's still hope for those afflicted with it. If you or a loved one is experiencing any of the symptoms listed earlier, seek help immediately. The first step to treating an illness is to recognize the symptoms.